On my kicker tonight, I humbly decline to join in the unfortunate chorus that is tonight tempted to reduce the legacy of John Pombe Magufuli to only one issue, COVID-19. And even as a journalist and a member of a media house that has interacted with the rough edges of the Magufuli administration, I also politely resist the temptation to narrow Magufuli's legacy to his glaringly wanting democratic and human rights credentials. I choose to see through the heavy stench of both pertinent attributes for the simple reason that it could have been worse. I will base my argument almost entirely on John Pombe Magufuli's time, not as president, but as assistant minister and then cabinet minister, roles he played within the period of 10 years, starting in 1995 and ending in 2015 when he became president. And I say it could have been worse if John Pombe Magufuli started off like a typical African assistant minister for housing, or even worse, if he started off like the regular African minister for infrastructure. For a worryingly high number of African nations, ministerial appointments can be equated to an invitation to an open bar party of termites hosted on a wooden pole. The Ministry of Infrastructure is particularly notorious, and even right here in Kenya, it is one of the fastest routes to unexplained, boundless wealth. Yet, as Assistant Minister for Housing and later Minister for Infrastructure, John Pombe Magufuli cultivated an image of a fiercely incorruptible enforcer of his ministerial mandate. He delivered on the multi-billion projects that included roads, bridges, and railways, and other projects without emerging one of Tanzania's richest individuals, as it would have been almost naturally elsewhere in Africa, and especially right here in Kenya. Give it to Magufuli. Infrastructure was a free riches pass his personal ethics refused to take. Magufuli took his ministerial style and ways to the presidency when he was elected in 2015. He maintained the image of a ruthless corruption fighter and uncompromising crusader of efficiency in public service. His biggest legacy project, the Tanzania Standard Gauge Railway, is on its second phase right now, resting on the crest of uplifting projections such as electric trains and well-managed costs. We know our story here. On the personal integrity front, Magufuli declared his salary made it public in 2017. He said at the time that he earned 9 million Tanzanian shillings, roughly 400,000 Kenyan shillings, an amount that would be found utterly laughable in regular Kenyan political payrolls. Imperfect as he may evidentially been, John Pombe Magufuli was and died a conviction politician. Whether he chose the right or wrong path, he marched on resolutely, keeping the gap between what he believes deep inside and what he says or does in public as small as he could keep it. As for the metaphor of the bulldozer, it really depended where one stood. Whether in front or behind it, Magufuli ran over things quite a bit. That is my kicker.